X2, X-Men United was a absolutely fabulous movie because they were able to actually go a step beyond the original movie. More mutants with more powers, more abilities, more of a morally gray direction for a lot of the characters. Because Nightcrawler, who's able to teleport, is brainwashed. He attacks the president, and it's obvious that something needs to be done. So William Stryker proposes going to the Xavier Institute and rounding them up, thinking that they have some kind of hand in all of this. It's so obvious that he was actually behind Nightcrawler's assassination attempt because Nightcrawler doesn't really have any reason to do any of this. And to find out that he used his own son in order to stage this attack really makes Stryker scum. But Logan returns to the Xavier Institute as he's starting to get some of his memories back to a certain degree. Xavier and Cyclops think that Magneto might have been behind Nightcrawler's attack, but no, of course it wasn't him. We get to see Colossus in this movie, which had its ups and downs. Honestly, Colossus only looked at his best when he was in the Deadpool movie, which I feel is kind of messed up. It's just like it took a lower budget to actually make Colossus look good. Actually, now that I think about it, no, Deadpool didn't have a lower budget, did it? Oh god, it had half the budget. Wow, jeez. Dude, on half the budget they made a more convincing looking Colossus. That feels like that's saying something. But the Xavier Institute is attacked. Colossus leads some of the students away, so you end up mostly following Logan, Rogue, Iceman, and Pyro, especially since Iceman and Rogue were kind of dating during this time, mostly because Gambit wasn't involved in the movies. Stryker also has an assistant, Yuriko Oyama, who in the comics was Lady Deathstrike, and she's not Lady Deathstrike in the movie, honestly. I don't think she even talks. She's just basically there to fill in the role of Sabretooth for the most part, and be the confrontation for Logan. But Mystique shapeshifts and breaks Magneto out of prison, and they discover that there's apparently a second Cerebro that has been created. Meanwhile, Magneto meets up with Logan and the gang and informs them about the second Cerebro. Xavier, who has been captured, Stryker's planning on using Jason to control Xavier in order to basically kill all mutants with his mind powers, and the second Cerebro. Jean and Cyclops, who I believe went looking... Cyclops, and I think it was... No, Cyclops got captured. It was Storm and Jean went to go get Nightcrawler. And they teamed up with him, finding out about the whole situation of the mind control and where the base that Stryker is operating out of is. So Magneto and Mystique end up teaming up with the rest of the X-Men. And while Magneto and Mystique go to disable the second Cerebro before Xavier can use it, Storm and Nightcrawler go to rescue the students. Jean fights a mind-controlled Cyclops, which, man, Cyclops really did start to get more and more of the shaft in these movies as time went on. I always felt bad about this because I really did like Cyclops. I still like Cyclops. It's just that they never do him justice in a lot of these movies. And you find out this location is where Logan received his adamantium implants, and the setup here was so great. I was so ready to get Logan's backstory in full. Ooh, how disappointed I would be. But Logan has this cool fight with Yuriko. It's a shame that she ends up dying in the fight because she had some pretty awesome moves. It's just she didn't have a personality, which was the real shame of things. And of course, when Magneto gets to Cerebro, Mystique impersonates Stryker and commands Jason to have Xavier kill off the humans instead. But thankfully, Nightcrawler teleports Storm into Cerebro, and she creates this storm that stops Jason, breaking his control, freeing Xavier. Magneto and Mystique escape with Pyro, who went to their side because part of the Brotherhood of Even Mutants and all that. You never get them in full, unfortunately. At most, you always get about 2 of them at a time. But because of Cyclops being under mind control, he damaged the dam that they were under. The dam is engulfed in water. Stryker dies. The X-Men try to escape on the X-Jet, but it seems like they won't make it, so Jean sacrifices herself in order to get them away, and she steps off the plane to do this, and I always thought to myself, it's just like, no, she wouldn't need to get off the plane to get it out of there. I remember thinking that even back when I was younger, when this came out, when I was like 12, it's just like, why did she get off the plane? She's using her mind to lift it up. Couldn't she just be like, I know she was having issues with her abilities, but even still. So she manages to get all of them out of there, but she's engulfed by the waves and stuff. The X-Men have this kind of metal scene where they're warning the president about coming after them, where they just all show up in the Oval Office, and I'm just like, that's actually a lot more intimidating, and now, if I were the president, I would definitely start hunting you fuckers down. Jean is laid to rest, but then we see at the lake that was formed after the dam broke that there's some phoenix-shaped object within the lake. And I remember being interested in where that was going, and man, was I disappointed when I got that answer. I mostly only liked X2 because of Nightcrawler. Getting to see more of Mystique, more of Nightcrawler, and I was disappointed that we never got the reveal that she was Nightcrawler's mother. I'm glad that Mystique got to play a little bit more of a role in this movie, but could have been a little bit more. Would have wished we got to see a little bit more of Colossus too, but what can you do? You know, they had a little bit more money, but just not enough to go around for a lot of the more interesting looking X-Men, let's be honest. But it was still a solidly great movie. A lot of fun. It's just that, you know, now we're at a point where I'm just like, we need an X-Men movie that just has a shit ton of mutants. Show me powers being wielded left, right, and center, man. Like, technology has gotten to a point where we've created an entire city filled with Pokemon. I better see me some ton of mutants up in a place. But I just don't have the same fondness for this movie as I did with the original. It didn't resonate with me as much as I would have hoped it would have. And I'm not saying by any means that it's a bad movie. No, it's phenomenal. It just didn't have the same place in my heart that the original did. I don't know why, though. Maybe it was because it was apparent that instead of giving most of the X-Men almost enough of an equal billing to a certain degree, that characters like Jean Grey was feeling more like a plot point. You know, Rogue was becoming less involved, Professor X less involved. Just, it was becoming the Wolverine show more and more as it went along. And I love Wolverine. I just didn't want him that far at the forefront of things. That was my only real gripe. I love him as a secondary story, but that's how it really should remain in a lot of situations. And the fact that Cyclops kept getting more and more sidelined, it's just like, no, he's the Leonardo. He's supposed to be the leader. Wolverine is the Raphael. He goes off and does his own thing. You know, maybe with Rogue, they team up, they do that, whatever. Maybe Nightcrawler assists them. But the primary core of the people who are dealing with this subject should be Cyclops, Jean Grey, maybe Iceman, Storm, of course. Like, they should have been the core of this situation. And that always kind of bugged me to a certain degree. And I guess that's just my nerd brain working into overtime. But hey, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Did this movie overall just resonate with you? Because I know it did for a lot of people. A lot of people love this movie to death. They think it's the best X-Men movie out there. And I really can't disagree with them. My gripes are small gripes. I will still watch this movie in a goddamn heartbeat. You'd be like, hey, you want to watch X2? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to watch X2. It's just that with such a great movie, I feel like certain tweaks could have made it a little bit better, but who the fuck am I? So say your piece in the comment section below. If you liked this video or agreed with anything I had to say, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.